Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Cheesadelphia Summer 2016, brought to you live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I am Drennock, joined by Tempo. How you doing, Tempo, on this one?
I'm doing pretty good right now, you know. Actually, I don't think I could be better. I mean, I've been waiting just to finally be able to introduce all of these players, start casting them, bring all of these games that we do have here right to you. Because I know y'all been waiting too, but here we are. It's time for a pretty good time, man.
Oh yeah, man, I am so excited. This event has been awesome so far. I got here a little bit earlier than last time, Cheesadelphia too.
Yes, same.
I've seen a lot of the players. This place is packed out for Cheesadelphia Summer. And man, I am so excited because not only is it packed out, Tempo, but we have double the prize pool this time, going from $2,000 to $4,000,
man. And like, we were just talking about this a little bit before we started, just for a grassroots organization to get to that point, it's actually really, really cool. And the fact that the turnout has been, I think, most that it's ever been before.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. And, you know, you see people, we have both, first of all, we have both champions, Cheesadelphia 1 and 2 here.
Kelazur and Bales.
Kelazur, well, Bales and Kelazur respectively, I guess, right? And then both here. And, like, I'm pretty excited that who's going to be defending their crown? Yeah. Like, is it like, yo, I'm the champ.
Yeah,
the champ, Kelazur, right? But
it's really cool that we have those winners, and then we have kind of these contenders. We have these contesters of it. We have True here. Suppy's even going to be playing, so I'm not sure how he's been recently on ladder, how much he's been practicing. However, still, you have those players that can also knock them off of the throne, which currently Kelazur is residing in.
Yeah, and he's feeling pretty good about it. I mean, that's a player who's been doing well pretty much for the past, I don't even know how long.
Forever.
And he just kind of slowly, you know, broke out of a shot out of Fear Dragon, right? And it's really, really cool to see him here, back, you know? It's not like, okay, I won that, what's next on the radar, you know? No, he comes on back. The feeling here, it's not one that you get at many tournaments, I would say.
Definitely, and it's exciting. It's everybody in the room. When Kelazur won last time, it was, yes,
yeah, I know.
Done it, we've done it.
Well, it went to the last game, didn't it?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
it got
versus
like,
Huck.
Yeah, Huck. Whew. That was crazy day, I think, and we did it all in one day. This is the first time in Cheesadelphia that we will have it as a 2-day event. So I think that'll be a little bit easier on the players, and just give you guys more games, even though it's 2 days, right? And then it's a Swiss-style tournament, though. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it is a Swiss-style tournament, so there are some nuances to it. However, we're going to be getting to our first game relatively shortly. It's going to be Starkiller, a Protoss, versus Jason, a Terran, and both these guys have came. And I think Starkiller, no, I don't think either of them were here before. They may have been here in the last Cheesadelphia, however, here we have them in this one. So here, in the bottom left-hand corner of Galactic Process, it is the yellow Terran player, Jason, representing Canada.
And then in the top right-hand corner, representing Miraculous Gaming, he is the teal Zerg player. It is Starkiller.
I'm excited to see Starkiller, Jason too, but Starkiller has got here with his dad. His dad is here in the studio today, or in the venue.
We were talking about getting our breakfast earlier today, and yeah, Starkiller's father did accompany us down there, and he's a really, really nice guy. He said he's here to support his son.
Ooh, man, his dad's a nice guy, but his son, that proxy hatch in the bottom left right here, we do have an SCV moving out across the map from Jason.
About to happen right now.
But it is good he's SCV scouting right off the bat. He may be opening with the Reaper Fast Expand, in which you normally kind of assume you'll get a scout off, but he's playing it extra safe versus, well, a pretty, I'm not even going to say crazy. That is just far out there. That's insane.
Yeah, well, the location that he put it at, too, this is something that you would see it in Dust Towers, and it's actually very hard to hold if you just go for your regular kind of build. You know, you go for the Reaper, you might even make some Hellions. They're not going to be helping you against the Ravagers, depending on how he actually executes it. So, as it is right now, though, Jason is adding 2 more additional racks here.
Well, he does get that scout into the main base of Starkiller, sees it's weird, and he knows this is a new map. Galactic Process is one of the new ones in the map pool, and it is very unknown, these different cheeses that can occur, so he's feeling like, oh, I know something strange, and I guess it's not unknown to him.
He finds it.
Sees the hatch,
and you know what? This is one of the things you can do as a Reaper. You throw the grenades at the larva, and then you're able to just kill the larva before it's even been able to be used.
Yeah. And I love that Jason has opted to go for those 2 racks in his main, not going for a quick CC, because then he could easily Spine Crawler rush. The Reaper will be there, and I guess there's going to be a minimal loss, and even he's going to be able to scout some of these larvas and kill the larva, but back at home, Jason, or pardon me, Starkiller will be taking his natural hatch, so he's not going to completely invest in that. He's saying, maybe I don't want to invest all the way into that proxy hatch with Reaper's added.
Well, we'll see if he commits to it now. He is going to be making some roaches here. The Queen will pop out, And now, yeah, there's even a bunker being put down by that natural base. Jason might lose a Reaper here if he's not careful. And he's doing some pretty good micro here, actually, right? Roaches will pop, so luckily here for Starkiller, he's not going to lose that larva or the eggs.
No, yeah, and the creep is on the way, so we can see some of those spine crawlers, something like that. But already roaches, 2 roaches and a queen are there. Queen's going to fall back, 2 roaches will pressure that natural. There's 4 reapers, though. This is turned from a kind of maybe all macro into a 3 racks reaper from Starkiller, or pardon me, Jason. So he's looking pretty good right now. KDA charges going down, pushing back those roaches. There is a creep tumor, yet there's no drones, nothing at that quite yet, and only 3
down goes
very
the
low
queen.
roaches.
Well, this is actually a big deal because all of the roaches are here on this side of the map. Roaches, you would think that they do really well against Reapers. Well, actually, he's getting a few kills, though. But a lot of the times, the Reaper can kite with the KD8 charges, blow them back. And look at this cheeky Reaper inside of this bunker. Just, yeah, he has a hell of a job ahead of him. But honestly, the Ravagers are what deal with the Reapers a bit better than the Roaches. But this time, I thought that Jason would have kept a few of those Reapers alive because just to make sure they didn't get to his base.
I would worry with a Ravager a little bit, though, because it does have slightly less health than those roaches, and the Reapers can't easily jump on top of it. There's a couple KD8 charges going out, and it looks like the Ravager is going to be able to kill and still leave a roach on the way. But on the other hand, as you mentioned, there is a bunker at the natural base.
Yep. And some roaches that'll be made at home could be able to take it out, because it is only 1 Reaper, keep in mind. But we see that Starkiller had been transitioning at home the whole time. So he got his lair, he didn't even get Zergling speed. Didn't make that many roaches, I think it was like 3 and then 1 Ravager. So he's going to be going up to Spire. He's on a very, very low drone count, and I don't think that Jason has much that can shoot up. However, it's not going to be a substantial amount of meters that shoot him out.
Yeah, and at this point at the natural base, really right here for Jason, simply trying to delay as long as he can. That bunker finally goes down. He's unable to salvage it. He's going to have to pull back, but still there's a decent amount of Reapers here. If they fall back, get their combat drugs going, get that health back, he's going to be okay. And you see he's completely committed to this attack. And I like kind of Starkiller's idea. It's okay, I'll go into Spire. That's interesting, but I do not know if he's the kind of way to support that, especially versus a 3-Rex Reaper. This has not been at all greedy from Jason. He's completely focused on the aggression.
Yeah, and he has a lot of Reapers that are going to be coming here. Going around the other side, that's a lot of Reapers, actually, man. I don't think that's enough roaches to deal with it. You can get some good KDA charges. They're going to be taken out pretty easily. And there goes one down, another one goes down. There's a last one remaining. Jason, oh, all these drones want to do is mine their birthday cake, but I don't think this is going to be a good day for them today. 9
Reapers in total are out on the map pushing away these drones, and at least it's buying just a couple seconds for Starkiller to get out those meters. 4 meters are on the way, but it's going to be so easy with those 3 racks to simply opt to go a couple Marines with those Reapers, and the Reapers aren't even going to die that quickly to these 4 Mutalisks. They could get into the main base, but for now they're going to pressure that natural base. Spire just finished up. The 4 meters are on the way, as I mentioned, and now finally Jason knows what's up. Queens are here, and I think the damage may already have been inflicted, Kempo.
Yeah, it at least gives him some breathing room, but if you do look at the worker tab, I mean, it is 21 to 33 in Jason's favor, who is mining from the natural. He's going to be able to drop meals there as well, and he's already transitioning, getting his stim, 1 eBay just for some turrets most likely, and he's also getting a Liberator, so when mutas are in low numbers, they don't really deal with Liberators that well, but I know that Liberators in low numbers don't really deal with mutas either, so it's more so about if you're able to support it with a few Marines, maybe there'll be a turret that the Liberator can float around, but as it is right, 4 turrets, I mean, he's not joking around, man.
He's not joking around at all. Jason also has a decent amount of Marines. He is up in workers, 35 SCVs to the 21 drones of Starkiller, and that crazy cheese just went downhill as soon as Jason scouted it. He knew what was up, and even knew kind of from some of the earlier maps you mentioned that that type of proxy location could happen. Bio is here, ready to push back the meters, and already they've just evaporated to Jason's bio.
Indeed, I mean, they don't call him the Craze Squad for nothing. He's pulling up these strategies right now. And Starkiller has 20 drones to 38 SCVs, has not been able to really mine. He lost a lot to the Reapers, right? And that muta transition was kind of like his ace in the hole, right? It's like, this needs to work or else probably going to be down and out here. So I think Jason's feeling pretty comfortable right now.
Jason is definitely feeling comfortable. He's got a drop moving out in the bottom part of the map, and it looks like we have a queen at that natural base. 2 queens in total, 1 spreading creep, but I'm not even sure if it's going to be enough versus bio with Stim. Stim is just finishing when this attack is going to hit from Jason, and really it was a solid, safe opener. That 3x Reaper, I don't think he was doing right off the bat. He scouted his opponent very early with an SCV, scouts it, identifies it, opens up, and has simply countered everything so far that Starkiller has tried to do. And next up, we have a small attack. Is it going to be able to take out those Raptors? I think so.
I mean, if he drops here, I think Stim is already done. You don't even have to really kill anything. Just the fact that Starkiller has to make units right now is already hurting him, right? So he knows that he needs to make units so he doesn't die to something like this, but he's still going to lose a few of the drones. Oh, he's just going to lift on up. There's not too much here that can deal with the medevac right now.
And I love this from Jason, by the way. Not only he's going for this drop, but he's sending other drops out of the map. He's sending a bio around. He's looking if there's any ninja bases. He's scouting, making 100% sure to play safe. Here's the drop going back into the main. Well, those are some nice birthday cakes, by the way. If anyone's been laddering recently, you will know it is currently StarCraft's
This
birthday.
kind of a mixed reaction, right? They're like, yo, is there any way to turn the birthday cakes off?
Yeah, I've had some funny experiences with them on ladder with like probes and stuff just hidden underneath. Like, oh, there's a birthday cake sitting there. I don't know what's there.
Yeah.
Oh, one little one goes down, looks at the Ravagers, and Roaches will not quite get it in time. It goes off. Corrosive Vial doesn't quite get it, and Jason picks it up and manages just barely to escape. I think the Queen was taken out a little bit earlier.
Yeah, this is actually the third base going down here from Jason as well. I think... Oh, there we go. Starkiller going to take out that medevac. I think it had the Widowmine in it, right? That was, what was
yeah, it did have that one Widowmine, but this is just a great economy Terran. It's not like that was his one last-ditch attempt effort. He's got the economy to back up another force moving out, but Starkiller, he still has an opportunity. He's got some nice Corrosive Vial shots, but he is lacking some of that AoE that often you'll see, and just opting to go a different direction. Roach Raptor instead of Blade Bane Lane.
Well, this is one of those situations as a Zerg that you just hate to be in, right? 2 bases to a 3-base Terran. Sees tanks on the other side. This is a beautiful position here. And he can fall back to that all day. Oh, he's going to eat some of the Corrosive Vials, but look at this positioning. Like, how do you even deal with the tanks like that?
So rough. And now there's going to be surround from Jason. Some of the reinforcing units will take out that last residual amount of army. And Jason takes game 1 in this best of 3. Beautiful game from him. I loved how safe he played early on. It was completely reactionary. Maybe he didn't know who he was playing. I think he did, but still just making sure that he knew exactly what was going on and not taking any risks in the early stages of this tournament where it's a Swiss style. You need to win as many games as you can. You have 5 to 6 games to win, and then and depending on how you do in that, that's when you're seeded into the round of 16 for day 2.
No, it's very important, right? And think about mentality too, right? Sure, you lost the first game. You kind of got to pick yourself back up and just, you know, try to go and take the best of 3 series. It's not easy, I'll tell you, especially in a live setting. You're like, hey, you're going to be casted today. You know, you're right here. Everybody's watching you. Yeah, no pressure.
And I know earlier when we were kind of watching, it was the break screen when you had 2 different players on it. We had Jason and Starkiller. And Starkiller, you know, he's kind of setting up his keyboard, getting ready. And then Jason is just sitting there like,
he's been laughing.
Yeah, he's
just been chilling, man. He's just like
on his phone saying, yo, go check me out at Nerd Street Gamers, man. This is awesome.
Twitch.tv/Nerd Street Gamers. If you're here, we really, really thank you, of course. So, honestly, I think Starkiller, he had a really cool idea.
I loved it.
And that's the kind of build that you can really catch somebody off guard.
Especially on a new map.
Yeah, especially on a new map. Like, people don't really know exactly what to expect. So, say Jason didn't send the SCV scout, I believe it was.
Yeah, it was an SCV scout.
You wouldn't know that's coming, and then you might be going for your regular build. You're like, yeah, this is what I've been practicing. You know, nobody's gonna proxy any hatcheries around my base, right?
And what's scary about that is that position easily could turn into spine crawlers and can snowball so easily in having your natural taken out. You really, you got to be ultra safe.
It's actually one of the funniest things to watch. I mean,
it even looked.
I'm just that guy. I'm just that guy. I'm sorry. I just like watching stuff like that, but. Really solid defense is really cool too, and it's like really shows a solid player that he's not going to be having a map get taken off of him by something like that.
Not at all. But game 2 is going to occur on Frost, and that is a much larger map. I don't think you have that cheese possibility. Of course, you can maybe send something to the middle and 3-Rex reproduce something really awkward, but looks like for now we'll see what is up. Starkiller going to go for that pause. However, guys,
I believe it was
Was it?
I don't know.
Wrong map or something?
They might have, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's rough. I mean, with those birthday cakes in there, you just want to get into the game as quickly as you can. You want to see those birthday cakes. You want to go off those.
Have your cake and eat it, too. So, yeah, they're just going to have to remake the game. That's what it was. Yep, I love how I was just like, yeah, that was a...
There's something?
Like fill in the blank or something, right? We're supposed to be twins over here, man.
Yeah, I don't know. We did rock, paper, scissors earlier.
We really did a rock, paper,
straight
scissors.
Up, exactly the same each time with 2 hands, too. We're like, let's do some rock, paper, scissors, because what else do StarCraft casters do in their downtime? I don't know. Play StarCraft. Rock, paper, scissors.
It's a good game. Very balanced.
Fantastically balanced game right now. And right now, I am really loving where StarCraft is. I know there's a lot of pro players who are like, oh gosh, Drynock just said that. Oh no, this is Super BM or something. But
I can't believe it.
I really am liking where it is. I love Legacy of the Void.
Me too.
And I feel like there's just so much potential for a lot of players, whether it's with Disruptors, Tankovacs, anything, to use your APM, utilize your really good multitasking. You have that
even
micro
saw that
opportunity.
last game, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like seeing Jason with the Reapers, and also the kind of strategy that Starkiller was going for. You're able to at least really put pressure on hatchery tech. You know, you get some Ravagers out, you start beating at the production, you start taking down supply depots. They can't make anything, and if they're not already teching up to like medevacs with tanks, not even Liberators I think are that great against that style.
It's very hard to play against, but what I love when you see a proxy like that is a strange situation. Maybe you have the Spine Crawler Rush, or maybe it's just some queens, and you kill a natural, you kill their main, and then they're forced to move into another base, and you have this awkward, unique style on a map where you're just in these random bases trying to get on there. I love those crazy games because it shows you the skill of players that are able to make up strategies, make up ideas on the fly. It's not simply players that I can do this build really well, I can go for timing. Not only can you do that, but you can problem solve yourself into a victory, or at least fighting back for a little while. And I think we did see that out of Jason, or pardon me, Starkiller, deciding to say, you know what, I lost my proxy. What would be crazy? What is he not going to expect?
One base. That's a
one base bio.
Yeah. I think killers are about a little cats with them, and your boy Starkiller.
Yeah, spread it around.
He must have given him a hug or something, and like just, I don't know. Because that's something that cats would be like, well, I think the most logical.
Yeah. I mean, why what else would he do?
Yeah, that's exactly how Cat sounds, obviously.
That's my boy. Shout out to Cats, by the way.
Yeah, definitely. I've loved what he's been doing recently with some tournaments. I mean, you have Cheesadelphia here in Philadelphia, is one of the grassroots one of the U.S., but I say one of the grassroots ones, and it's really the only one at the moment. But you do have stuff like Cats is doing over in California. Storm Cups, you have those couple other ones popping up now in North America, which I love.
But it's about that time, Drenok. We're here in game number 2. It is Frost, our first player, up by 1, representing that Cray squad. It's that boy, Jason.
Oh, yeah, up 1-0. As you mentioned, his opponent currently down a game in the top right-hand corner from Miraculous Gaming. It is the Tealzorg player, Starkiller.
Indeed, and you know, he just lost that last game, but like every series in StarCraft 2, there always has to be one winner and one loser. It doesn't mean that a 2-1 come from behind victory is impossible. Yeah, and especially on a big map like this, as Zerg at the moment, there's a lot of very heavy macro styles where, you know, you just get your economy up, you get 3 bases up, you get Banling Ling, then you just try to basically ram your opponent into the ground. I feel like that's the easiest way to say, like, I'm just keep sending Banlings, man. Well, I know True is here, and he does some stuff like that, and he's pretty successful with it as well. But thing to note here, of course, is the fact that they have spawned in horizontal locations. So I think that Jason is going to like that a bit better than having a spawn in cross positions. So
yeah, there's some Liberator spots. There's Tankovac spots you can get above the 3rd base that are really great.
Yes.
And for now, from Starkiller, we're seeing a more standard opener. Looks like a Hatchcast pull, maybe.
He didn't take a gas.
Yeah, it's interesting.
He's opening gasless right now.
Is that a 12 pull right off the bat, or is that just him going for the...
No, he got the hatchery.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's just that, okay. And then he didn't actually take the gas. And you know what? He's just going to go for a lot of queens, I would assume. Drone up pretty heavily. Actually, there was that queen buff, right? So I know people have been saying that it is possible to open up gasless in TVZ as a Zerg player.
Especially on a big map like this, but in some situations you'd almost want that speed for Lings early on, but it opens up a lot of different varieties of gameplay. As you said, you can be heavier queen, you can go for a quicker 3rd, and maybe just use that for larva, be aggressive.
It's all about that.
There's a lot of mind games. There's so many little things you can do with opening up like this. And then to boot, you can just have someone scout you and overreact every once in a while. Oh, there's no gas. They're on a pool. What is this?
They might want to try to kill you or do something, but it's just like, you have a very, very solid defense here as a Zerg player. And I know a lot of Terran players have been feeling like no all-ins really work anymore because of the queens. But, you know, we'll see what Jason has up his sleeve. He's opening not similarly, he's just doing the Reaper, but the first scout here coming down. And he's also, is that a, no, it's a 2nd command center. So it is going to be the factory right after. And I wonder what kind of style that Jason likes to go for here in TVZ.
We'll have to see a I got proxied and oh crap, I need to defend style basically out of Jason. But for now, Starkiller feels very confident, only going with 4 of Lings to take out that Reaper. It is a big map though, so he may not have assumed the Reaper would get there quickly. The Queen is ready at the natural. And I was sometimes expecting, you know, he would go for that 3rd hatch, but as you said correctly, Tempo, he is starting to pump queens and get into a macro, or is that maybe a Nidus network possibly later on in the game? There's a lot of options with queens.
I mean, you can go anywhere from here, especially just because you've delayed your gas for so long. You're going to be getting a lot of drones. Your larva is going to be really nice. And I'm wondering exactly what it will be, right? Like, there's certain kind of, I would say, ways you can take it from here. if you were to go for the Nidus type of thing, you're still going to be a little bit like later with it unless you were like going for the gas first and then rushing up to it. But when you delay it like that, you're really thinking about your economy, I would assume. This is something that we used to do back in Heart of the Swarm, I remember. Yeah, double Evo Chamber. Might even drop a Roach Horn with it, too.
And I do like that style. You can also see mutas after that for a little while. Sometimes it can be for a while, but generally you are aiming to go into that Roach Hydra, something like that, get some quick upgrades. Sometimes you can see the Ling Floods, which I really love the insertion of that into the meta game at the moment. But I would also note that still no third hatches, not a quick third hatches we're so used to seeing. That maybe the Terran pressures it with Hellions or Widowmine Drop or something. But with the lack of that, that does give the opportunity for Jason either to A, take a quick CC like he is, or go for a drop.
I think Jason just scanned himself. It's all good, fam. He's like, I don't need that skin anyway. Yeah. But either way, yeah, getting up to the lair, 1-1 Roaches here, and not even a third base. So I'm wondering if he's going to be going for that straight-up Roach Flood, 1-1. It's like, you know, blast from the past.
Yeah.
If he were to go for that.
Oh, there's going to be ample defense against this Tankovac. 2 Queens are already ready at the natural base. Tankovac has to drop back a little bit farther, and there's the Overlord there, so the Overlord of Starkiller is giving him a lot of vision, a lot of know-how into what Jason is doing. But off the back of this, Jason, he's got a Viking on the way, got 2 racks, and really opening up into a longer macro game, while Starkiller is almost boxing himself in at this point, and with what he's doing to stand on 2 bases for a very, very long time. Roaches are only popping now.
Yeah, and he's only making he's only making about 3 more drones. And I feel like he just wants to saturate the natural. And if he doesn't take the third very soon and continues to make roaches, we very well may see just a big flood of roaches. And if he has any leftover gas, he'll have Ravagers with it as well. So
in a way, what Jason is doing, going for that third CC, it's great, but that is going to open up multiple defensive paths that he has to worry about. There's 2-3 ways into the third base. There's 2 ramps in the natural. Lots of Roach Ravager easily can find a wiggle room in to get into a chink in the armor of Jason once he starts to move out. But for now, Jason, yeah, what's
he's adding? Okay, so he's adding double eBay. He hasn't been making any more tanks. I believe he even swapped the add-on on it. I saw the Hellion, or not the Hellions, but I saw that his factory did not have the.
Yeah, he did swap it, going into double Widowmine possibly to start getting kind of his own Terran creep spread.
This is good. I think if Starkiller hits with a good timing with Roach Ravager, Jason could get kind of overwhelmed here, because 1-1 Roaches with Ravagers, the worst thing that's going to happen is that they're going to have a bunch of tanks with Medivacs and then micro the tanks. But with Jason taking the third base, getting his double eBay now, Stim's going to be done, sure, but he doesn't have Medivacs yet. I think he might have 1 actually with the tank.
Yeah, he does have that one, the dank. I'm not sure. He got the dank tank for Tankovac, but Roach Ravager is going to push across, and most likely that tank will have to fall back to defend the third base. He could keep that as an aggressive tool, but there's currently nothing at the third CC. There is no bunker, nothing the third CC has to pick up. SCVs go back, and here is the defense ready. 2 Widowmines at the front. They're going to go off a little bit earlier. A couple Corrosive Bios go off, but the damage is still done, just kind of softening up some of these Ravagers, some of the Roaches. Now Bios moving in with the Stim. Stim is done, however, +1-1 is not, and as Tempo, you said, currently our Zord player, Starkiller, does have 1-1 in a very potent attack, timing attack against Jason.
Oh, this is really cool too. He took the third behind it, and he also decided to start droning too. So he's going to be denying the mining from the third. Now, Starkiller did not bring an Overlord or an Overseer with it, so he can't actually look at the tank and get any vision of it. But I think if he's able to secure his own third, stop the mining from the third is the main thing. But we're seeing Roaches and Hydras actually come out. So yeah, a blast from the past.
Oh yeah, and a large thing you got to remember for Starkiller is he has kept up in the drone count. When he does want to go to his third hatch, it is going to be okay. He can send 16 drones, about at 57 or 56 drones right now, pretty close to that nice amount in the 60s. And at the same time, he's denying what Jason wanted to. Really, this is a very nice opener where simply deny your opponent, get a small edge, take your own third, and you're almost coming out ahead into that macro game. But right now, he's got in a little bit of bad position. There's a great concave here for Jason pursuing Starkiller. A couple of Corrosive Vials do go down. Oh, almost taking out that Viking.
So I think he wanted to do more damage though. Like Starkiller, when you invest that much into a push and you delay your third for that long, you're probably looking to maybe clear out the army. Lifting up the third is great and all, but he didn't get the command center. He didn't actually get that many SCV kills either. So I think you want to do a little bit more damage with it, especially because Jason didn't have that many tanks. He had 1. There was 1 tank.
And Hydras are at now, so it's some extra DPS. Won't have as much in the sky to take down, but at the moment, Starkiller has to worry about a multi-point attack. One's to Widowmine at the same time at his main base. You have a couple Hydras, some Roaches, and that's just going to be enough DPS to push back those drops, but there's still a presence outside of the main base of Starkiller. Jason pulls back. He starts to get those Hydras. He's got a lot of DPS, but he's got to be super careful moving off of this creep. There's just a lot of stuff off that creep, and he can't quite move off until he regroups his main army. Yeah,
he's just going to be using that Larva. I think he wants to at least get full saturation here. That would be ideal. You don't want to just be sitting here 3 base versus 3 base while going Roach Hydra, especially if you're going to be trying to transition into Hive later on. Depending on, I mean, are you going to just go for Roach Hydra Viper? Do you add Infestors with it, or maybe into Lurker? Does he have a kind of secret strategy up his sleeve? I know End of Line, actually, one of my teammates used to do something, not straight Roach Hydra, but he actually would check into Lurkers in ZvT.
Well, one thing that he can do, of course, he does have the upgrade lead. It's currently 2-2 for Starkiller to the 1-1 of Jason, and Jason's getting around that by doing these great multi-pronged attacks. There's a little push into that third base, pushes back the workers, only kills 5, but still, Jason has thrown Starkiller onto the back foot. Starkiller wanted to be at that nice 60 drone count, and he's starting to get knocked down a few notches. Not too much, but he now may have to remake those drones. It's not a position he wanted to be in. He wanted to go from that third 3-hatch thing, but at least right now, as you said, Tempo, he does have that upgrade lead much earlier on, and at the moment, nothing's coming out of Jason. He's just hanging out on what he has, and I think that may go downhill a little bit for him.
Well, Jason is perfectly fine when it comes down to this, if it's a 3 base versus 3 base situation, versus the Roach Hydra, as long as he he's actually going to get blindsided here at his third, and now the Hydras can shoot up, so that Command Center can't even get away, and down it goes, and this is the fight he's going to take, 2-2 versus 1-1. He think he's actually going to go for it. He has a good concave.
Oh, massive concave coming out of Starkiller, but some of the army from the right-hand side is coming in here, going for a little bit of a flank that does require Starkiller to pull back Jason, and is a great position, still pushing. He's got a lot of bio in pursuit, and we're just seeing what happened in the first push that Starkiller attempted in a large pursuit. Oh, but he's going to run straight into double Widowmines. One Widowmine goes off, 2 Widowmines go off, taking out a couple Ravagers, and Starkiller is in full retreat. Jason has managed to rout him, and now he's using that momentum. He may not have the third base, he lost 16 workers, but now he can completely focus on his army. He's not going to worry about taking that again.
Indeed, and this is great for Starkiller just because he took the third base out. If he didn't kill the third, I would feel a little bit worried, but now he's at that 3 base to 2 base advantage, and he just needs to worry about making units. He has an upgrade lead here. There's a decent amount of medevacs, but this is Roach Hydra we're talking about with superior upgrades.
Finally, he's starting to push back, regroup. Another Widowmine does manage to go off. This scores of Biles. Widowmine doesn't quite go off on the main force of Starkiller. He's backing off, just pumping units. There's no upgrades. There's no production. There's no workers. He knows if he can defend, he's going to be in a phenomenal position in this game 2 of a best of 3, which means he'd actually even it up 1-1 in this series. Very close to doing that.
I would love to go to a game 3 here. Just taking that base out was just probably the best thing he could have done there. I don't think Jason expected that at all. So here we go.
There's a great side swipe, as you were mentioning earlier. This would be great for Terran, which it often is, and he's just kind of flipping the tables right here. Starkiller's like, oh, I can go for the counterattack. And here's another great engagement for Starkiller to take. Desperately, Jason is trying to do some kiting. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. He is doing a great job of luring into Widowmines, though. I love that little touch, a little zest on the top.
Yeah.
That great army. Oh, another Widowmine.
I mean, honestly, this is Starkiller's best situation that he could be at. The main command center had to fly to the third, and, you know, he lost a lot of SCVs, but this is it. 32 workers on that. It's not the best situation here as a Terran player. Like, sometimes you float the third, or the main to the third, and it's like, you're going for a 2 base thing, and that's like your last legs to do it. But this was not in Jason's plan at all, and now he's down by nearly like 70 supply.
It is much farther along in the game, and you don't want to do it, as you said, but I'd like to point out much earlier on, talking about that Queen style, when Starkiller first opened up. And that Queen style did allow him to get creep along the top attack path. It allowed him to get a lot of vision, and that's helped him overall. That opening style really is one of the defining factors of this game and how he's starting to overwhelm Jason and get some of those angles on his third base, snipe them.
Yeah, this is great.
I love the creep spread. This is what I call the Terran creep spread. You just have random Widowmines everywhere, but looks like there's no creep spread at this third base.
Oh, no, and all of those SCVs went there.
SCVs, oh my word. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 go down, and the army is simply not there to defend. The army's actually on the other side of the map, going for a push at the third base of Starkiller.
Wow, is he going to go for a base trade here? I mean, honestly, that's the only army that Jason has, and it's really not that big. And those medevacs don't have a lot of energy either. Actually, there's a few units inside of the main.
Yeah, there is 9 roaches, though, coming out, 3 hydras that should be able to defend it back at home. But here on the aggressive, he's forced the natural base to be pulled up. 37, 39, 40 workers have gone down. It is 51 drones to 12 SCVs. And right now, Starkiller's pushing up. He wants to even up this series 1-1 and have a chance at redemption. But of course, you got to remember, this is Swiss style, so there's a lot of games ahead of all these players. Yes. 5-6 in total, but right now, it's just
this
chaos.
Is a massacre. Starkiller puts one on the board. And we have ourselves a series, my friend.
We have ourselves a series, and at first I was a little bit worried with that hatch opener if it was a maybe lesser player saying, how do I beat him? Oh, I got to cheese him. But no, he is on par exactly with Jason, doing a great fight. As I said before, I like that opener. A lot of the opener he did, that 2-base, no gas, getting queens, really defined the majority of his gameplay. Now you can see Jason like, oh, well, I just lost it because of this. You know,
he's like, no, he got me. You got me.
Yeah, just a little bit of this. I'll do better next time.
Yeah, definitely just chilling, you know. Starkiller looked really happy after that game, though, I'll admit. He was just like...
Yeah, he did. He got that point on the board, and it's really critical in the first part of the Swiss style. I believe we're currently in that, to get those points on the board, because generally what we have seen in it is the most skilled versus the least skilled, but now these two players are kind of in the middle, so they're switching up and down. If they win, they may go versus a player of a little bit higher caliber and back and forth, but yeah, at this point, it's very important to get that early lead to be able to get a spot in day 2, the round of 16, and have a chance at the $2,000 grand final.
$2,000 for first place, doubling the prize pool from last time. Phew. This is really cool, you know. I really love seeing growth. It's just really awesome to see, and definitely something that Nerd3 Gaming has been, Nerd3 Gamers have been doing.
And of course, a shout out to Joe, that is NSG Joe on Twitter. He's the organizer of this, makes this happen, and more so, shout out to, of course, Jarvis Innovations, you know, the company next door actually at the building. They're the ones that originally kind of kick-started this, got video games here in Philadelphia, made localhost, which, if you don't know what it is, guys, if you're in Philadelphia, localhost does a lot of little LANs for different tournaments. Not even little, what am I talking about? Some pretty huge LANs. For Counter-Strike, they have Smash, they have really just weekly different games they're playing. I love that. Really getting the scene. And then, of course, they got their ace card, StarCraft. Cheesadelphia.
So, it's really awesome. I hope you guys are all having a good time out there, though. You know, it's
we are.
We are. Great turnout. And it's really cool to see these two players going at it.
Oh yeah, it is, and especially now that Starkiller has put another point on the board, we are starting to see, as you said, that game in a series where Jason isn't as comfortable. In that second game, it could have been a little loss here or there because he said, you know what, I'm up 1-0, I got this, it's going to be okay. But he now is starting to get on the edge of his seat. However, as we of course have said, it is Swiss style, so there's a lot of games ahead for both of them.
It's not like this is elimination by any means. Like, it's the point system, so if you do win or lose here, you're not like just sitting back waiting for your next opponent like, okay, I'm this much further in the bracket. You're in a better spot because you do have that win, or a worse spot because you have the loss. But it doesn't mean that you have to like fight up from the loser's bracket like a tournament that you'd have to really, really fight like that. And you still have a chance to kind of chill back, collect your thoughts, and be like, all right, what are we going to fix for next time?
And even if you lose here, you still have this phenomenal crowd out here. And I love that we've had the cam this time. For Cheesadelphia, we've also had the camera on the crowd, which is really great in the break screens. I've loved that. But we have a phenomenal crowd here, guys. Thank you for coming out. By the way, there is concessions here. We have some stuff. We have some energy drinks, some candy, some water for anyone here. And guys, if you're in Philadelphia, please come down, check us out, because it is truly awesome. This place is packed out and full of StarCraft. There is a hype like none other here. I
love it. And I've been waiting because we've been here for since about Thursday. And, you know, last time I came to Cheesadelphia, let me be real, I had a really crazy trip on the bus. And then I just, like, walked here, and it was, like, halfway done. I still had a great time, but I didn't really get to really take it all in. But this time, I'm here. Got a little time to collect my thoughts.
Take the whole tournament in, and, go on the cast.
Indeed. And guess what? We're going into game number 3. It is the final one. Who will win the series? Is it going to be the Yellow Terran from Canada, Great Squad Jason,
or his opponent in the top left-hand corner, the Teal Zerg from New Jersey, Starkiller, representing Miraculous Gaming, I believe. Man, the clan tags have just been getting crazy lately.
I know.
Cray S.
It's like Cray S. I actually wasn't sure. I saw Crayon on that, and I thought it was just like his clan. It's like Craze. Like, we're the Craze, you know?
Who else do you have that? I think, is it Maximus Black who also has it, like, or no, you have that. You have Hot Damn. You have Hot Damn Tempo,
Hot Damn.
One of those people.
I'm the Hot Damn. We represent. We have the most random people in our clan, but you know, we're out there on the ladder.
And we're out there. We're out there too. I'm one of the non-clan members. We fight together, though. All of us fight together. It's just this gigantic clan. Here we go. We got an SCV scout from Jason, of course, playing it safe like he did in Game 1. And did he do this in Game 2, or was it the Reaper Fast Expand? I think it was the Reaper.
Yeah, he did the Reaper Fast Expand. Whoa! Starkiller drops down a Roach Warren immediately right now.
Honestly, I'm amazed at the multitasking of that SCV. Holding a cake in its left hand and then making an entire command center. Like, that is just crazy.
With one hand?
One hand.
This guy.
I mean, these guys are pretty strong. They're really big birthday cakes. You don't even understand.
You look at that cake. Like, my birthday cake was probably about the top of that.
I think I got a cookie. Cookie's pretty good.
Oh, really? You didn't get a cake?
It was a good cookie. It was good. It was a very good cookie.
You know what? Next time you have a birthday, hit me up. I'll bake you a cake. It might not come out well because I don't know how to bake a cake.
Can I have a song? Can I have When I'm Drenok? It's instead of When I'm Grandmaster, it's When I'm Drenok.
When you blow the candles out, it'll actually sing one of the songs.
Oh, that's a good one.
Just for you. How about that? Would you like that?
I would like that. Tempo, I would love that.
All right, I got you, fam.
Got you, fam. Reaper gets into that natural. Gets a full scout. Very standard. And looks like for now, though, what is not standard is the 4 roaches on the way for Jason. And Jason can kind of get an inclination of that with his Reaper scout. He sees, wait a second, there's not the 4 lings. There's no drones at that natural. Oh dear, maybe this isn't standard.
No, I don't think it is. And that Reaper is going to probably do his best to kite with the KDA charge as best as he can. But the way that Jason had been setting up, I don't think he was expecting roaches this early. And that should be a tech lab on that factory, I would assume.
Yeah, whether it is a siege tank or a liberator eventually or a tank evac, he is starting to get that defense up. There's a bunker. It's only 4 roaches, I'll have you know. And there's a queen on the back of this. So this is, I'm going to do a very early push, a little bit like we saw in, maybe it wasn't Game 1, but it was kind of some parts of Game 1.
Yeah, except that was proxy.
yeah, except it was proxy. I'm going to do a little early push, try to get some damage done, but this time I think he may be able to, but I'm really not sure. Jason has played ultra safe, gets the bunker up. There's the bunker. Only 4 roaches are going in. They're going to try to sidestep that main bunker. 1 roach is barely going to go down, and now they have an opportunity to go into the main, but no, he says supply divas go up, and right now it's going to be a really intense micro battle. SCVs are going to try to get on out of there. But the roaches, at least, they are denying economy, and this may not be where Jason would have wanted to go. Maybe he was going to go for a Widowmine drop, something like that. His plan could be foiled. However, these roaches are going to go down. This is going to leave Starkiller possibly open on the other side of the map for a counterattack, which he may have started up himself by forcing out that siege tank in early bio.
Well, the good part about this whole thing for Starkiller is he was able to deny the mining at the natural, but he immediately started droning. So, I don't know, do you think it was worth it, you know, losing a few roaches and also the investment? Of course, getting that roach warren early means that that's another drone that you had to use. So, I don't know. I mean, he ended up getting a few SCVs, and then he took out a Marine, but maybe if he was able to get a little bit more, I think he was looking for a bit more.
And I wonder if a couple more roaches could have done it, even breaking down that bunker, because yes, maybe the SCVs pull, but that's even costing money with SCVs pull. They're not working, you're using money, some damage right there. Jason, though, is moving out, and we see Starkiller attempting to transition into what we saw, maybe not necessarily last game, but more of that style with heavier queen, and now roaches and +1 missiles coming out.
Yep.
Also +2 armor, so he's not really providing that many avenues for a big tech switch or something. He really is going full on into Roach, going for that attack.
Yeah, he just wants a solid opener. He's committed to roaches. I mean, he put it down. He might as well. This siege tank, though, is going to be denying the mining for as long as it can. I don't think it's actually hitting the the drones.
He's not. And I wonder if those queens possibly could get a little bit closer to that edge and snipe it down. But Jason's moving out with another siege tank. And this is going to be a Shroud. I guess we're maybe taking a 3rd CC. 3rd CC is just about to be done. He's going to put the pressure on and keep Starkiller back in a position where I think he'd want to go for another attack off 2 bases. Or he himself right now is going for that 3rd hack. So simply opting to not take as many risks as he did with that Roach opener in tempo.
Yeah, this is kind of annoying. And you can tell he really wants to take out the rocks as too quick as he can. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of DPS. And now that a 2nd tank is here, Jason is going to find the confidence to go into that natural base. Really good micro here, you know, just making sure. But oh, here come the queens with that crazy range. And that might be something that he wanted to focus on earlier, just trying to take out those medevacs.
And at the same time, in the middle of the map, looks like we have... Oh, pardon me, actually. Yeah, we just have the same siege tanks right here. We got right where the rocks are in the middle of the map where the overlords are hovering. I was like, no way, is there 3 buildings right there because of the mini-map? What is that? However, it is not. Roach Speed is finishing up right now, though, and the Roaches may be able to get a little bit closer, but out on the map, we only have 1 Roach. Not really that much, and this third base has been shut down. Basically, at the moment, Starkiller is mining off of 1 base, while Jason is floating out his third CC, and he's bought so much time. Even though he didn't take damage early on, he's simply increased his lead exponentially, moving on into this
these
late
2
game,
tanks.
into late game.
Oh, I mean, the amount of mining that they've stopped, and even the units that they're killing, I don't even know how many they each have, how many kills, but it's actually insane. I mean, he's actually just stopped them from mining completely. I don't even think that the third was done, so he couldn't just transfer his drones. Yeah. And now you look at the supply lead, 52 workers to 42 here for our Terran and Zerg respectively. And even the army.
He's only lost 4 workers in total, but he's sacrificed so many Roaches, just kind of sending them one by one to try to delay with the Queens, try to delay whatever he can. And really, honestly, Jason has lost nothing. This is one of the things I was talking about earlier in Legacy of the Void. If you have that multitasking, it pays off so well. You can take a natural back at home, you can pressure at the front, and right now it is so hard for these Roaches and Ravagers. Ravagers very low on health, easily they go down. At least they snipe 1 siege tank, and now we have possibly some counter aggression, but nope, Starkiller is going to play it safe, falling back to his third. But at the same time, Jason, he's been getting a big army back at home. His third base is up, and Stim is just finishing.
Yeah. Now, he did delay his 1-1 in order to make that happen, which is fine, I would say. However, the 1-1
it's a low economy Zerg. You should be okay with that, right?
Yeah, exactly. If he wasn't able to get that much damage done, maybe he
the Corrosive Bios!
Oh, my God. But it could be a trap. It's a trap.
There we go. 1 siege tank in the back is not even going to siege up. Here's the push up the ramp. Roaches and Ravagers are on full retreat. And that definitely was a beautiful trap out of Jason. He's even going to land the Viking, man.
That supply block, Starkiller. So now here comes the bio moving on forward. Even the tank thinking he's a Marauder. Like, okay, not anymore, but okay. But either way, this is a lot of units coming out of Jason. And every one of those Starkiller's units have to funnel through the Evo Chamber and the Extractor. Not a good look, especially. I mean, that might have done him a favor killing that Evo Chamber, but I still think it might be too much here for Jason.
Yeah, it's just like a meat grinder going straight into that bio. High DPS. Finally, 12 Roaches are on the way. 7 Overlords did just finish, and Starkiller is starting to push this back just a little bit. However, it's still, this is a thorn in the side of Starkiller, and pretty much since those siege tanks moved out, he hasn't been able to drone like he would like to. It is 61 SCVs to the 40 drones of Jason, or 40 drones of Starkiller, and really right now, Starkiller, yeah, he's having to pump work, and this is not what he wants to do. Even if he could overwhelm the force of Jason, Jason is a third CC back at home, and that 1-1 is finally finishing. You know, the Stim, that timing to get Stim a little bit quicker to get those siege tanks out earlier, finally is now all evened out, and he's at the place where he'd like to be, and hasn't sacrificed that much for it.
Yeah, and the fact that he kept the tanks up means that he's going to have them here for the push. They might come from both sides, but this is a really nice situation here for Jason, I would say. That was the best situation for Starkiller, but Jason simply has too much. 1-1 finished right then, as you were saying.
Oh, but Starkiller's not going to give up tempo. It's currently 1-1, and if he could just take this game, this is GG. Well played, good luck. Jason goes 2-1, and that's going to put him out of the first Swiss stage, going 2-1 overall, so 2 wins, 1 loss.
Yeah, bouncing back. That was actually a really cool series. We got to see some Roach Hydra that we don't usually see. And Jason kind of adapted to it because he didn't have tanks in game 2, and I think he was like,
that smug smile right there. Yeah, I did that. That was me. Jason's like, no,
no, there's a fangirls coming up to him trying to get autographs, and he's like, no, please, no,
please,
fall back.
Yeah, fall back.
I gotta get my keyboard and my mouse to get ready for my next match.
I did love what we saw out of Starkiller though in the second game, really playing a cool style that, as you said, some people say that doesn't work, and you're realizing maybe that can work in Legacy of the Void. Maybe you can open up gases in that manner, get heavy queen, and then push, get some damage done, and it's almost a safe opener, as in you're so aggressive, it's safe. It's not like you're going to die to some weird cheese or not. You open up that 2 base, and eventually trying to get up to that Roach count. But GG, well played, 2-1. Even though he has 2 wins, 1 loss, he also on the flip side, still Starkiller at least has 1 win on the board in the Swiss style day 1 of Cheesadelphia Summer.
Indeed. Really nice games. Jason takes it. So, I mean, honestly, I think that was the first time that I casted Starkiller before.
Ditto, yeah. I'd seen him online a few times. I've seen his name. That's a good name, too. Yeah. I feel like I've even seen him on ladder before. I'm like, oh, that dude. You know he's either amazing or he's like the silver guy's like, yeah, I'm Starkiller.
Like, Starkiller, I got him. But he took a game off of Jason, who actually has been in a lot more online tournaments that I've been seeing as well. So, very impressive to see it. Bringing back that Roach Hydra style, making it work. And let's see if we can see more of him later.
And for Jason, on the flip side, you have a very safe player who he's been to a lot of tournaments, as you said, and he said, you know what, I'm not sure who I'm going to come up against, so I'm going to scout, be careful, and even knew the really weird things on the galactic process. Weird. Where could he proxy?
Yeah,
That's
he made
where
a fan
could
when he
proxy.
did the proxy hatch, indeed. So Jason always being solid, though. He's definitely on the come up. I know Fear Dragon is a big fan of him, too. Always scouting. He's like the NA scout. And then here we got him right.
Finding those people on what was the show he had for a while? I can't remember. Breaking Out. That was it. Beautiful. And even now he's doing Ladder Heroes, also really contributing to the North American StarCraft 2 scene.
He knew Kelazor would be a boss before.
Kelazor's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I remember one time it was in Breaking Out, and he talks about Kelazor and says, "This guy, he gets bunker upgrades and goes for a bunker push." Like, wait, what? What?
That dude.
Is that a thing you do? Can you even do that? Like, is that possible? And yeah, evidently it is possible.
Indeed. All right, so I believe we're going to go to a break.
Yeah, we will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to Cheesadelphia Summer 2016. Follow below, check out, and really just all the links below on the Cheesadelphia Summer Nerd Street Gamers Twitch page. I am Dronok. That is Tempo, and we'll be right back after this short break for some more StarCraft 2 action.